In terms of actually like taking no's and taking shit, like sometimes it's also the case that like it's not gonna be a simple oh no, it's gonna hurt,
Yeah.
right? Like you're gonna have to put time and effort into this, and you think like it's gonna pull through, and then all of a sudden it doesn't. How do you take steps forward from that? How do you learn from these experiences? Like what kind of things can you do to actually level up from the things that hurt?
I think the first thing that I used to do, and I still do to this day, is understanding that it hurts, right? Like in most cases, especially at the start, it hurts, right? So you just kind of like gather your feelings, and you're like, okay, I feel this way, cool, right? But the immediate step is, let me get better, right? Let me use this as an opportunity. So what I did, as soon as I, if I finished a sales call that didn't go quite my way, right? I would just analyze the situation. Like I would watch over that sales call, or I would, if it was a client campaign that didn't go our way, right? I would, speak to my team, right? What could we do better? We constantly analyze, right? And so the reason why I had that approach is because I knew that if I fixed it right there and then, instead of like giving it, emotional energy and just like carrying that through and being scared of like, watching that sales call because I did badly, right? I didn't see that as a personal thing. Like, okay, I did poorly because I don't know, right? I don't know better, but it's not because I'm stupid or, it had no correlation between, I didn't correlate the performing bad with my sense of worth, right? So I was like, I'm still on this journey. Like I know I'm going to get there. So, this is just part of the process. Let me analyze the situation. Let me look at what I could have done better. And let me get crystal clear on what I did wrong, because I'm not going to do that ever again. Right? And that's the approach that I had and that I took every single time.
Detaching emotion really is like what I took out from that, and that's very big, right? Like not taking it personally, not having your initial failures be thought of as a reflection of you, right? And your worth and what you're doing, because in the end of the day, like your purpose is going to be much bigger than the initial hurdles you're going to have to face, right?
And I this is one of the things that I tell my team members all the time is like, look, the feedback that I give you is not personal. Like you're in this team and you're working towards this vision with us and the team, because we believe in you as a person, right? We appreciate you as a person. We've got love for you, and we'll do everything. Our actions will reflect how much we care about you, right? Like through your pay, through everything, right? Through the benefits we give you, through the attention we give you. And so knowing that we value you as a person, right? And we value yourself, you as an individual, all the feedback that we give you, we'll do it in a very respectful manner, but all the feedback that I give you is not personal, right? So don't take that personal. It's just, just because you messed up a campaign, like I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying you're incapable. It's just like, no, we could have done better here. We could have done better there, right? And I tell this also to my team members, like all the feedback that feel free and feel confident in giving me feedback, right? Because I'm not going to take that personal. It might sting a little bit, right? Because we're humans at the end of the day. We're not robots. But when you make that distinction and you separate both things, right? The feedback and the personal, like your sense of self-worth and just, your performance on a specific task, that's really where you can gain a whole level of freedom, because now you can, you can get better on the performance, but your sense of self-worth, your identity is not tarnished, right? It's not diminished. And so you can keep going, right? You have the fuel, the fire is still burning, right? Because you haven't diminished that, and you're only getting better here because you're very comfortable in looking at the performance, because you just see this performance as this kind of like outside thing. Like you're building this thing, right? Like you're building this business, right? And or maybe like you're plugging in a cable and I don't know, it doesn't work, right? And you just plug in another one, but it's kind of like outside of you, right? Like it's not you. You're not like building yourself up. Like it's outside of you. And I think making that transition, even though it's hard to understand, making that transition and that shift in mindset is really powerful.